in the middle of the Mojave Desert, served by the beautiful Harvey girls. Oh, look, here's the menu. Oh my gosh, I remember this place was open from 1911 to 1971. Probably when the movie was done. Well, later. Oh, look at that. Cocktails. 50 cents. I'll take 10. It's really hard to put into this menu because it's covered in glass, but you could get a lot of 15. And here's those Birdie Harvey House girls, and they give them a list of Harvey girls' rules. Must live in dorm all night. Must have a manicure. Must never have a man indoors. Oh goodness. There goes the train. No telling how far it's bound. Well, actually, it's probably bound for Vegas, but there's only, what, a couple hours up the road. But speaking of trains, in addition to this Harvey House display, which I thought was pretty cool, and I didn't even spend half the time I would have liked to, and in addition to the deep space Goldstone Visitor Center, there's also a railroad museum here, which unfortunately I definitely don't have time to go in, even though I happen to be here during the operating hours. Looks like it's only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, like I said, I'm gonna have to come back. But it's cool because in front of the museum, you know, right by this active operating rail yard, they have all these cool old historic rail cars. And I know there's some railroad buffs watching this. Well, if you're a true rail buff, you've probably already been here. But if you haven't, oh my gosh, you'd be in hog heaven. And I thought this was really interesting too. In front of the rail yard, they have this whole sign dedicated to the history of the American hobo. Okay, you know, a hobo, trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents, cocktails 50 cents. Anyway, the hobos, the guys that used to, you know, you can see how slow that train's going. It'd be real easy to jump on and ride the rails and see where it takes you. Well, according to this sign, the first hobos were basically war veterans. It says around the time of the Civil War, railroads were being built at a frantic pace. By the early 1870s, there was 60,000 miles of track. The war had produced a generation of young men who were used to living under adverse conditions. So with the return of peace, many no longer had jobs or family ties, so they would just become itinerant workmen, crossing the country by hopping trains. And then it even goes into the origin of the word hobo, which I think it might be from homeward bound, or from ho boy, which was a farmhand traveling looking for work. But then what I think is really interesting is it says there was once a clear distinction between hobo